Okay. Josh, thank you very much for agreeing to help me. I do appreciate it. Chris, thank you as well.
Absolutely.
Now, I have two decks of cards here, a red deck and a blue deck. These are brand new decks that have not yet been opened. Josh, I'd like you to pick one of the decks.
Red.
Red, you take the red deck. Chris, you can take the blue.
Okay.
You guys can just go ahead and pull the cellophane off, break the seal, open up the decks, and then pull the cards out. And Chris, you can just put your cards to the side for the time being. Josh, go ahead and remove the advertisement cards and the jokers, and you can place those aside as well. Josh, what I'd like you to do is select one card from each suit, but make it a number card. So take one spade, one heart, one club, one diamond, numbers, and make the numbers so they're different, so you can tell them apart. And then just put the cards right here on the pad. It's not a secret. Just go ahead and put them out. Very good. So we have a heart. And Josh, go ahead and pick out a face card from any of the suits. It doesn't matter. And we got the king. Okay. So we're going to make these cards unique in a unique way. I'm going to take the cards. I'm going to cut each one of them in half. So this is what? The 10 of spades. Here we have the 2 of hearts, the 4 of clubs, 7 of diamonds, and last, the king of diamonds. Excellent. So 5 cards cut into halves. Now everyone has something inside of them. Some people call it their conscience. Some people call it intuition. I like to call it the inner voice. It's something that we hear. It kind of tells us if we're doing something right or doing something wrong, or it can give us a clue about how we should proceed in life. I'm going to see how in tune you guys are to your inner voices, okay? Using these 5 cards. So we have 10, 2, 4, 7, and king. 5 pieces go on this side. The other 5 pieces go on this side. Now we're going to play, this is how we're going to do this. I'm going to use the phrase, heed the inner voice. We're going to see if you are going to heed your inner voice. I'm going to pick up one of these packets. For each word, I'm going to move a card piece from the top of the packet to the bottom. So for example, heed, I would spell H and move a card down. E, E, and D. When I get to the end of the word, then I'm going to take the cards that are on top of each packet and place them aside. Then go to the next word. Now the thing is, you guys can tell me to switch anytime you want. When I'm spelling a word, you can tell me to stop and switch to the other packet. In fact, as many times as you want to tell me to switch while I'm spelling, the more magical it will be. Okay? So Chris, we'll start with you. I'm going to spell the word heed, moving a card from the top to the bottom.
Okay.
You tell me to switch packets anytime you want. And to make this even more random, I'm going to let you tell me, should I start with the right packet or the left packet?
Start with the right packet.
The right packet, okay? We're going to spell
Switch. Just kidding.
Thank you. I like that. So I'm going to spell the word heed, and then you can tell me to switch when I get inside of this. Okay, so here we go. H, E,
Switch.
E, D. Heed. Josh, left or right?
Right.
And this word is the. T,
Switch.
H,
Switch.
E. Chris, left or right?
Left side.
Left. Inner. I, N.
Switch.
N,
Switch.
E, R. And Josh, the last word, right or left?
Left.
Left. V, O, I,
Switch.
C, E. Now let's check and see if you did in fact heed the inner voice. And it looked like you both did very well.
Cool.
That's pretty cool.
It is kind of cool, isn't it? Now, the very first time I did this, the gentleman, and I use the term loosely, I was performing for said, well, sure, you can make all the cards match when you're doing the handling and the shuffling. What happens if I shuffle the cards? And so I looked at him and I said, okay. Said, sure. You go ahead. Take the cards. Shuffle them up. Mix them up as much as you want. Now, I'm not even going to touch the cards here for a moment. Josh, I'm going to turn my head. When I do, I want you to give a number of cards to Chris. Just a random number, just some of the cards, okay? I'm going to turn my head. Give some of the cards to Chris. Have you done that?
Yes.
Okay, it doesn't matter what cards you have right now. It just matters how many you have. So count the number of card pieces that you have, and then remember that number. And when you're done, put the packets down in front of you. Tell me when you're done.
Done?
You're all done. Okay, put the packets right here if you would, please. Very good. Now, Chris, it's extremely important you remember the number of cards. Because if you don't remember the number of cards, this ain't going to work. You're going to remember the number of cards in your packet.
Yep.
You're sure?
Yep.
Okay, and Josh, same for you. You will remember. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'll start with you, Chris. I'm going to show you the card faces one at a time. I'm going to count as I show you. When I get to the number that is equal to the number of pieces that you had, that's the card I want you to remember.
Okay.
Does that make sense? I'll show you the cards one at a time. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Do you have your card in mind?
I do.
Okay, Josh, same thing for you. I'll show you the cards one at a time. The only card you need to remember is the one that was at your number. Are you ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Josh, you have a card in mind.
I do.
And Chris, you have a card in mind. If you would please hand me the blue back cards, please. Now, each of you pick up a packet, find the card that was the card at your number, and then bring it out and put it face down onto the table here. Let's get everything all lined up. Now let's see how we did. On the count of 3, let's turn our cards over. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3.
Cool.
Nice.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Josh. Chris, thank you very much.
Absolutely.